about 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with diabetes type 2. And like everyone else, I jumped on the medicines that the doctors told me to do. And after a few years, I realized this is a death sentence. This is a long-term death sentence or a short-term death sentence, but I'm on that track and I just was not comfortable with that mindset. So I saw some ads of yours and I was interested. I don't mind saying that it was partially your last name because I have a friend who has the same last name. And I'm a skeptic by nature. I'm, even though I'm from New Jersey, you can think I'm from Missouri because I have that show me attitude. I'm a researcher by nature. So I kind of looked you up and I said, okay, there's enough here that I'm intrigued by. So I reached out and did your 1 hour webinar. I was interested and I said, I'm interested in more information. You contacted me, we went over it, and I was still skeptical, but I was optimistic. I was optimistic that my health could improve because my health was, I'm not sure if you called me a mansion or if anyone else did, but my physical appearance was okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't overweight. I wasn't a typical diabetic. I was athletic, great energy, did a million things, but I had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes. I had a lot of factors that, bad liver, other things like that were problematic. But within a few weeks of being on your first protocol, I will tell you, it changed my life. And I wasn't just convinced that this was special. My wife was basically the one who said, you're not snoring anymore. You used to snore every night. Since I was like 8, 9 years old, I've been a snorer, and I don't snore anymore.
Wow.
That was just the beginning. But all these health issues, I've had hemorrhoids since I was 21. My hemorrhoids basically went away. I've not had a bout of hemorrhoids since I've been on these protocols, directly related to diet. And that was the biggest skepticism because I was never fully convinced that our diet was that demonstrable in its ability to affect our lives. And boy, when all these things started improving, it changed everything. Hemorrhoids went away. I was sleeping better and sleeping through the night. Admittedly, like most 55-year-old guys, I was waking up at like 3 to go to the bathroom every night. That stopped. I moved until I slept solid until like 5:30, until right before my alarm was going off. That hadn't happened in a few years. Those are just a few of the things that improved, but the other things that did, I was not overweight, but my waist size dropped 2 inches. Clothes are drapey on me. It's amazing. This is the one that's probably the most embarrassing because it affected where I went and what I did, and that's the flatulence. I had regular flatulence, and I had to be very cautious about it. I had to go to the bathroom frequently. Here at my office, every single morning between 8 o'clock when I got in the office until about 11, I would go down to the bathroom, and I'd what my doctor called irritable bowel syndrome. I would be in that bathroom 4 or 5 times every morning. When I went on these protocols, they stopped. I mean, number one, my business partner says, "Oh, you're not going to the bathroom like you used to." It's like, yeah, I don't have to. And maybe uncomfortable for some people, but I'm thrilled. My stools are solid. They're not loose stools like I had for the last decade and a half. These are all these health factors that have completely changed purely because of these supplements and the diet. Blood pressure, boom. I was constantly taking blood pressure medicine, and my blood pressure was only coming down so far. Now it's pinned at these good numbers. I'm regularly 120 over 80, and I hadn't been that in about a decade. This is month 2. It was 6 weeks in, 6 weeks in. And I went to my doctor, Cy, and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" He's like, "Good." He goes, "I just looked at your blood work. What's going on?" I said, "What do you mean what's going on?" He said, "Your numbers are really good." I said, "Okay, I got to level with you. I didn't want to tell you this all before we got here, but I'm doing a program," and he's also a diabetic. And I said, I have not woken up in the morning with a blood sugar level over 100 in 6 weeks. And he's like, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "No." I said, "I'm controlling it on diet and supplements." He goes, "Fantastic." He goes, "I'm not upset." I said, "I was worried." He's like, "Tom, I don't care how you get healthy. Get healthy." He goes, "I'm proud of you. Stop taking the metformin. Come see me in 6 months." I am now this is now 4.5 months later. I've not taken a metformin one single day in 4.5 months. My blood sugar level is between 85 and 100 every single morning. And it's purely because of diet and supplements. And it's the irony, Doc, and this is the part that's the best. I feel good. I feel happy. Let me qualify this. This was the tough part. There was one little pitch where on week 2.5, where I started getting a little moody because of my diet. It was the adjustment, but I will tell you what, that passed. And life is, it's simple because I know what I'm going to eat every day. Now, I don't mean it in a negative way. What I mean is I'm not going to go drive. I have a pizzeria, Hoboken, New Jersey, right behind me. And I love pizza. It's like, it was wife, my children, and pizza, and probably in that order. And sometimes you can, it's that place I can smell the pizza, which I could never pass the smell of pizza, but I can avoid it. I don't need it because I know how it makes me feel. The initial bites are delicious and I love it, but I know how the impacting it is on my diet and on my lifestyle. But bottom line, Doc, is my lifestyle is 100% different. And that is due to this program. I did the labs that you directed me to, and they were 5 pages long. And you and I literally spent an hour going over these labs step by step. That's more time than I've spent with my doctor in probably 5 years going over my labs, right? He'll just say, oh, this number's bad, that number's bad. I never see my labs from him. I can download them onto my portal, but he doesn't show the lab and say, look at this number. He just tells me the numbers off the screen he's looking at. You shared the information that we were looking at, and you talked about it. You talked me through what these numbers meant. And that was hugely different because it informed me on my physiology, right?
Yeah.
And it helped me understand my obstacles, the good things and the bad things, right? And where I needed to direct my attention. And I will tell you, that was the most confidence building piece of this whole puzzle, is me becoming an owner and understanding what my biology and physiology adds up to for Tom Gatens on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And seeing those numbers change was the thing that I'm an athlete. So everything's about the score, right? Yeah. It's about the score. And every day, seeing that you have a score that you can win every single day, allowed for the psyche and the mind to stay focused on what the goal was. And your approach of focusing on what's your goal? What do you want out of this, Tom? This helped me identify what I needed to do. It helped focus my commitment, right, and my effort, because I'm an athlete. And if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I've got to give it that effort. But knowing that I had that metric for the labs that you showed was amazing. Spending the time to do a saliva test, which in 55 years of my life, I'd never done a saliva test in my life. And I was wondering, okay, come on, what can this show? And then to see what it analyzed, and then working back and realizing, wow, these things are all interrelated. Yeah. Now, here's the approach difference. And this is the thing that was, you kind of feel like a brand new, the eyes have opened, the scales came off, so to speak. And that is, the medical industry is all about placating symptoms, managing your problems, and covering up the symptoms and saying, okay, we're going to mitigate the symptom by giving you this pharmaceutical. Yeah. Everything that we've done through these protocols has been to improve the health, healing, and productively creating an environment that the healing occurs so that you do not need those medications. And that's why I was able to get off the metformin, which when I tell people that I was able to get off metformin, they're like, are you sure? Were you allowed it? Was that okay with your doctor?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm pretty sure I'll be off my high blood pressure medicine very soon and my cholesterol medicine, because my numbers with my diet today, my numbers are pinning perfectly. Yeah. And I'm absolutely certain he's going to graduate me down. I'm going to go see him in about a week or two, or going to graduate down until I'm completely off those as well, because in all honesty, my lifestyle hasn't changed in terms of my stress. I've got 2 businesses. I'm going nonstop. So those stresses are still there, but the physiological, the dietary things that added to those problems have been corrected. I no longer have the stresses that are related to it, because I knew, and everyone knows this, you can look it up. The longer I was going to be on metformin, the sooner I was going to die because of it. It's a slow degradation of life. Yeah. But knowing that I blood sugar simply by diet and supplements it's such a personal emancipation. It's amazing. You only have one life. And so we have two choices. We go through life with fear, or we go through life with force, and that is our personal force. And the reality is, anyone who comes to your webinars, doctor, and has any questions, I will always answer my cell phone. I mean, I will always answer my cell phone. And here's why. It was life-changing. And not many things in our life are life-changing. We get married, we have children, those are life-changing. We may change careers, that's life-altering. But your health is the one constant through all of that. And if you don't take control of your health, you're jeopardizing all those other variables, right? You're jeopardizing your job success. You're jeopardizing your relationship with your children long-term and your grandkids. You're jeopardizing your relationship with your spouse. The bottom line is, good health makes everything else better. And my life is immeasurably improved because of this. So what I would say to everybody is, try it, but be committed. Put your best effort out there, because you deserve it. Because listen, anything we do, and this is what I when I tell kids positive things, I always say, do the have tos before you want tos, and you'll be successful in everything. If you follow the protocols and you're responsible with them, and you stay consistent, and you follow what the doctor suggests in terms of progression of these protocols, and you stay on it, you'll be successful. The neat part about it is, it's not rocket science. It's simply putting a couple bookends together to make sure the book doesn't fall over. It's guardrails on the road. You're moving in the right direction. Simply just keep moving down the road. And the positive reinforcement that you get through this program is exceptional. And then you realize, wow, look at my numbers. My blood work is looking so much better. My life is so much better. So stick to it.